Are you okay?
I'm not okay because someone brought something to my attention this week that ruined my speech forever.
Well, like what was that?
It's filler words. The moment someone brings it to your attention, or even listening to someone, you notice it, and it just sounds so unprofessional.
Any other kind of speech besides formal speech, it's actually acceptable to use. They call them filler words, and you might even have something else that is your own pet thing that you say.
Like unique to yourself.
Yes.
I have one.
What is it?
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
I throw that in anywhere.
I think I say exactly. I told her the other day that now that she has said that I don't use I'm going to use it all the time because now I'm thinking about it, and I've used it so much more. Here are some ways that you can make sure that your speech is not filled with filler words. Number 1. Learn how to embrace the pause. There is more power in the silence than there is in you just filling the space with nonsense.
Wow.
And it's one of the things I actually teach people on stage too, because they're trying to go really fast, and sometimes it's good, right? Sometimes you want people to come in on the line in front of them. You want them to pick up their cues. But other times they're making a moment, and silence is so tense and important. And you know that sometimes in negotiating also, if you speak too quickly, you can give away the farm. And so one of the techniques is you just keep your mouth shut. We're trying to figure out what it is that we're going to say next. We're trying to organize our thoughts. And because we cannot stand there to be silence, we fill it with things that don't matter. And how much more important is it to fill your speech with things that do matter? So the second one is to speak slowly.
I have a very, very hard time with that.
And I know this because I have directed her on stage. What is the number one comment that I have given you?
Slow down!
You move too fast. Got to make the moment.
And she sings it too.
You don't know that song?
I don't.
Oh, well, you're going to have to go look it out. All of you. That was just special for you at home. So these things are not only important to us.
Yeah, every day.
But they're important on stage too.
Yeah.
Right? Your audience hears slower than you can think. Ooh. So you're actually giving your audience time to think about what you're saying and to interpret it in their head when you talk at a slower rate. Number 3, record yourself speaking. Because that's how you noticed that you were throwing in things that didn't really matter.
Yep.
So record yourself, listen, see if you have any words that you say that people can't understand.
Yep.
See if you're talking slowly enough that you feel like people can understand you. See if you're throwing in any unnaturally hard to digest words, any of all those things.
Yeah.
All right, number 4, make eye contact.
Ooh, this is a lost art.
It is. Pause, speak clearly, slow your rate down, look at you in the eye.
Oh my gosh. People are going to fall in love with you. But eyes tell stories.
Oh, I know. I've said that to people. I always tell people if I'm not looking them in the eye, then you know that I have a problem with you.
Yes, and helpful tip and trick. I just learned this recently. Look at one of their eyes.
Oh, right. I do that all the time.
Oh my goodness. I think when I start thinking about it, then I'm like, oh my goodness,
where do I look?
But then, like, recently I was like, oh, I just naturally stare at one of them. So just look at one.
I normally look at that eye.
Wait, I'm looking at that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, getting back to point number 5. Ask a friend to help you.
Oh.
So I had actually an English class that I took in college, and our professor said, every other word.
So distracting.
So we as a class started making tick marks of every time he said in his class. The classes were 50 minutes long, and at the end of one of our classes, he had said over 105 times. I'll never forget that. Ask a friend. Please tell me if I use the word more than 5 times in my conversation. I need you to tell me Number 6, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Practice.
Oh.
So if you have something that you are thinking about saying to someone, or if you just want to make sure that you're trying to speak slower in the shower,
Yeah.
say a Bible verse, tell a story,
Yeah.
and consciously turn your thoughts on to, am I using any filler words as I'm telling this story?
Yeah.
So those are the 6 rules.
I love that. And some apps that help with this is Marco Polo.
Right?
Being able to clearly communicate, you know, they're not on the other end like a FaceTime call. And then also audio messages. My friends and I have started sending audio messages, and it's very similar where you're being able to communicate verbally, and it just changes even the way you're communicating, because a lot of times in text, what are you missing? You're missing intonation and the way that people are saying it. So that's also very helpful.
I love it. Always remember that just because words are common doesn't mean that they are useful. In fact, they might be harmful.
Until next time, this is just me.
And me.
Talking to you
From
the
the
wings. And I said most people do. You heard it. You heard it here first, folks.
You did.
I needed to slow down more. She hates the sound of her own
You don't
voice.
have to get soft when you do it. I need to
Why
just
do I
slow
do
down.
that?
That was
Why
interesting.
do I do that?
I have to
Why
slow
do I
down.
do this?
Dr. Reba, you heard it here first.